Hello, hello. I hope you can hear me. I'm just having some struggles with the overall setup. My webcam isn't really working, but I have no clue why. So let's go with my other webcam for a second. Perfect. Now it works. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. It looks like everything is working as it should. And we are able to jump right in. How is everyone? Welcome to the live stream. We had a really long and great live stream yesterday. We've been building in Aquaria Land, and today we are finishing or adding some more final touches to Pinnacle Park. Basically the park I worked on for the last year. And if we take a closer look, there are still some areas that are pretty empty. How is everyone? How has your day been? Would love to hear where you're from. Hi, Adrian. Greetings to South Germany. This is especially an area where I didn't really finish. We have this nice turntable here. This was actually the first coaster, and I just see that the roof is still not closed. We definitely have to take care of those things today. So my mouse is a little off today. Just let me quickly restart my stream. Just give me a second. Yeah, it's a little better now. Okay, so this one is basically, I think we need to take care of this. Hi Anna, welcome back. Nice that you're today here as well. I hope you had a great day. So basically that's how it's going to happen. Before today's stream, I just worked on my Brimwood Resort Park. I had some really nice ideas this morning, and I wanted to actually test them out. So perfect. The roof is closed. Now let's focus on this area. We definitely need to cover up all these shops because I want to have this a lot cleaner. Maybe we are also adding some picnic benches around here. Maybe that people can come and sit down. And I want to hide this ugly black wall on the other side. And here I mostly hidden the walls behind trees. But here I thought we definitely need some shops. And of course, a toilet. Maybe to make this look a little nicer, we will quickly adjust something. Edit building. let's put this back here. Okay, this. I think it should be the same color. Yes, perfect. Can we remove the curbs? We don't want them. I think we now have to do this for the whole area. Otherwise, we always will have these curbs here. How far do we need to go? Insane. It looks like I used it completely. Ah, perfect. Hi, Shifty. Welcome. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing good. Greetings to France. So we need a building here. Select building. And then we are going for stone. Thanks, I'm fine. I'm a little tired from yesterday, but it was so fun that I just thought we should definitely do another stream today. And finally, I'm having time again to do some live streaming. What I am looking for, I think this one. Perfect. This is definitely too high. We should cover. So we have used these ones. So let's go with the plaster pieces, and then we will take these. It's always kind of special when other creators join my live stream as well. I kind of tend to get a little more nervous then. So, yeah, don't judge too much. I'm doing my best. So basically, I would say we should go with this wall here, and then I want an archway. Oopsie. Why the hell is this? Something? Someone told me about a broken piece. Is this the one that is actually broken? Yes, I think so. Okay, we can definitely do not use this one. So maybe we should go for this one, lime plaster. Somehow my mouse is really struggling today. I have absolutely no clue what's the problem with it is, but let's copy that over. Control C. And then we are those staff rooms are again black boxes in Planet Coaster 2. I would really would have loved to see that those are with interior like in Planet Zoo, but maybe that's something that is coming hopefully with another update. I know it's still only a visual thing, but I think it would makes so much sense. Shifty, was it with the latest update, like with the sorcery pack update, or the update when these lime plaster, I think they are from the fairy tale pack? Was it already with update 6? Actually, I think I never used the pieces before. Sorry, my microphone just went a little wild. Okay, so the bug is already a little older. Then I really hope this will get fixed soon. I think it's kind of the same like with the glossy pirate theme pieces, because some of them have a really intense glow and reflect light a lot, like they somehow look like they are wet. So we should definitely go around this corner. Oh, Mrs. T-Rex, welcome back. Nice that you're here today as well. This is a little off. I think that's why. Yeah, I'm working with 5 degrees. Building is, in my opinion, going a little better than yesterday. Thanks for asking. I kind of got some inspirational feelings this morning. So I already played like, I think 4 hours today before the stream. And I'm making really good progress. And now I really wanted, as I already released the last episode of Pinnacle Park, I still had this ugly empty area here. And I wanted to just fill this larger gap out before I record my park tour at the end of the week. Is this now 90 degrees? I think so. Have you been building today or again trying to use the challenge mode? And we... Can you actually help me in the future with the pronunciation of all the dinosaur names from Jurassic World Evolution? I'm always struggling with those. When we got all the showcases from the different species, I was always Googling and trying to find out how everything is pronounced. It's really difficult. At least for me, because I'm not too familiar with all these species. Sorry, sometimes I'm even wearing my glasses, but sometimes I zoom in too close just to see what I'm doing. Okay. I think Destiny did the job for you. So basically, someone don't want you to play challenge mode. I I have only played Prehistoric Kingdom once, I think. I think when I take a look at my Steam library, I think it tells like 8 or 10 minutes because I was so overwhelmed with all the possibilities, and I yeah was mostly waiting for Planet Coaster 2 and was looking for any other type of game, but I really want to get my hands on it again because it looks so good. Do we have this in a... Yes, 4 meter. That's what I wanted. Are the... Sorry, I didn't even do, and sorry for all the Planet Coaster fans for the little off-topic talk about Jurassic World Evolution. Um, but are there... So what I already saw, Prehistoric Kingdom is featuring not only dinosaurs, it also has other, like the mammoth and everything. But is there any other big difference between the games? Sorry for asking. So now let's do the same with this building and hide it into this lime plaster walls. Oh, okay, we definitely need to move over. Hello, what's the problem? Does anybody still know Bo from the community management team back in Planet Coaster 1? I always, when I'm listening to people talking, I'm wondering, I know that Bo was with her voice in the first game, but did they just port over the voices from the first game? Because I always got her voice in my head. Maybe I'm just going completely crazy, but I got a feeling that her voice is still in the game. Doric. Ah, okay, good to know. Yep, basically the thing with Jurassic World Evolution 1 and 2 was that it was just plopping down buildings, like more of a city skylines play style. And as I'm not the 100% management player, that was always a struggle for me to work with this. But as we are now getting more of a Planet Zoo style, gameplay style, and can mix it all up. When those photos popped up from Ed at these Frontier Studios, I think it was 2 Fridays ago, I really I had high hopes that he would maybe return as a community manager. But from what I've heard, he's now an influencer manager and is taking care of the cooperation with Frontier and some influencers. Oh, let's go for stone. I remember that Bo went to or worked on the Horizon Zero Dawn team with Shantae, I think. But Shantae is now also in a different company again. And from what I've heard is that Bo left the UK because of Brexit. But I'm not 100% sure about this. I just heard it that she's back in the Netherlands where she's originally coming from. So now let's get into some flower beds. I think this could work out somehow. We only need to... I think we need to hide some barriers in there that people won't cut this corner. Yeah, woohoo. Someone is having fun in here. You know everything. That's very good. And then let's just end the barrier. That's the best. Stalking people on social media is my most favorite hobby. I mean, it's always good to know where people are now and what they are doing. I really wish we would get the curbs back, like the curbs that we could hide in things that people. I think it was also a piece next to the barrier to block off some things. Or at least I always thought that it would be great. In like in Planet Zoo, we had the pillars and everything that is kind of climbable for animals. And in any update, yeah, I think 2 or 3 years in the game, we got these little toggles in the settings of a climbable piece to just deactivate the that it's climbable. And I just thought, why not have like this toggle for yeah various scenery pieces? Maybe why not for all, or just for a building or so, that we can set that this is functioning as an actual barrier. I think it wouldn't be, because basically they have to calculate the traversable area where people can walk, which is basically a path. And as they already did this with the walkthrough exhibits in Planet Zoo, I think they can definitely make it work that we could create custom barriers. This would be a really, really great addition, in my opinion, at least. But we just turn all this off. Oh wow, this is maybe a little too big. I would actually really love to hear what, yeah, from everyone who's in the chat or watching the live stream, what are your favorite roller coasters around the world? Is there any specific one, or should we then just... Is it really the Hulk coaster? I think I rode it the last time in 2023 on for my 30th birthday, and it's 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 fun, but it's also rough. Miss T-Rex, when have you been in Orlando at the Universal Park? Has Velocicoaster already been open or built during your visit? I have to say that it's really hard to tell. I really, really love Velocicoaster, but also since Voltron opened in Europa Park here in Germany, I I first thought it might be too intense for me personally to ride it more than once a day. But the more time I spent on this coaster, and it's been multiple times, I loved it more and more over time. Oh, yeah, I can fully understand. 120 minutes is way too long. We waited 120 or even 130 minutes for the Frozen ride in Tokyo Disneyland. This was the longest wait I've ever done. It was really exhausting, but in the end I was also really happy that we did actually wait this long. Um, but 120 minutes, it's just incredibly long. So let's just go around here. Um, I have to say, before Frozen, we did the Rapunzel ride, and this was just like 30 seconds. I know it's longer than 30 seconds, but it felt like, okay, this is 30 seconds. And there was a wait time of 90 minutes. And we just bought, as everything was so cheap in Tokyo, we bought fast passes for like, I think, €6 or so. And just to not have to wait for this small family ride. But then we went on Frozen, and there was no chance to get actually a fast pass or something like this. And I would say I was really, really surprised by the amount of detail they put into this ride. And I I really, really liked it. I think I would not wait 120 minutes again, but I think if it would be an hour or so, I would maybe do it. But yeah, it was just special with all the overall track layout, and it was a water ride. I actually didn't expect a water ride like a boat ride that is floating through indoor water section, but also with drops and turntables and special track pieces. It's something I've never been on before if it wasn't a water coaster, basically. Oh wow, 140 minutes for Hagrid's is also crazy. I think when we were there, it was May 2023. We only wait. The longest we waited for Hagrid's was 70 minutes, which was also quite okay. Now they are also supporting speed passes, which I tend to use to spend too much money in theme parks, and as I'm yeah Sometimes I just think, okay, let's spend this money. I know it's not the best, but I hate to wait. I'm so impatient. But we had actually in like Velocicoaster only had 30 minutes all the time when we were there. That was absolutely incredible. It wasn't really crowded, which was absolutely great. And I think a friend of mine wasn't able to ride Velocicoaster because the wait was over 180 minutes when he was there. And we rode it like 5 times per day because there were so less people. So basically, I'm quite happy how it all turns out. I'm always not really sure. I really have to take a closer look about all the sun and the impact of sun with like sunscreen and everything, because people look quite red here. Maybe. Are you sunburned? Can we see this actually? No panic. Sun cream. Okay, he has sun cream, so I think he's fine. So now I think it would work out if we just hide some trees behind those walls. I always think of using billboards to get like some textures in, but then I always forget to actually prepare them. Now let's do it just with real trees. I really cannot wait to get on Stardust Racers. I heard from so many people that it's the best coaster in the world. I actually cannot really imagine that it's that good. Yeah, I think this is just fine. Maybe we should just put this one in here as well. Just to cover everything up a little bit. The clipping through here, we have to live with it. It won't be perfect. So now let's take a look at some roofs. I think I have to be honest with myself, and I have to say that I'm the worst, really the worst roof builder out there. I'm just always struggling with how to align it all together. What types of roofs are we using here? Okay, these ones in some. Can we? Okay, so then let's go with Mrs. T-Rex, are you also playing other games like console games like Nintendo Switch or PlayStation or something? Or all the other people in the chat as well? Should we? Hmm. What is Cult of the Lamp? That sounds very dark. I'm always struggling with the placement of these tilted. So now we only need a small overhang. And we... Hi Artie, welcome to the live stream. And thanks for becoming a member, if I see this correctly. Hi Cupex. I know what you mean. I always or also very often struggle with the empty page syndrome, how I like to call it for myself. It's often very hard to start with something while looking at an empty area. But then I always try to just get started with something, even though it might be ugly or something, just to get into the mood, and then yeah, things are starting to looking somehow and coming together. Is this one the right angle? I think so. Miss T-Rex, this sounds really crazy, like crazy in terms of gameplay, but I'm sure it's fun. Is it on a console or still on PC? Sorry, I have never heard of it before. Oh, yeah, fighting people in games. I started Hogwarts Legacy, and I think I played it until the first fighting tutorial, and then I got so stressed that I never touched the game again. I'm absolutely not a fighting person because my adrenaline and my heartbeat is going crazy. Even with, we are currently playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I'm always so stressed. It feels like a workout. Thank you, Mrs. T-Rex. This is so kind. I'm actually, I wouldn't say I'm so good, but that's just because I actually watched so many videos, and this was also something, especially my building style and everything, was the main reason why I never started with doing YouTube and creating videos and so on, because I always saw videos like what Rudy is doing or Silverette and even you, and I always thought, okay, I'm not that good. I cannot build something that is looking like this, and that always kept me from starting with it. But last year I just thought, I have nothing to lose. Let's just start, and yeah, let's see where this journey takes me. So, signs, not the shop signs. We want the shop decorations. That's what I wanted. So basically, we could go for, now we need the alignment. No, this is fairy tale. That doesn't really meet the style I wanted to have. Maybe if we use these, but in a... Is it too... Yeah, it should be a little wider. Yeah, you're totally right. That was, I think, a very important thing I needed to learn over time, that it's not about always creating the most insane stuff. It's more about having fun, enjoying the game, trying out new things. And that's always a feeling I want to keep for myself while creating videos, that I am also doing this for me personally, and not only to, yeah, do stuff just to get clicks and views and everything. And I also wanted, because I'm not usually speaking English a lot in my daily life. Mostly also with my work, I have most German clients and everything. But I really wanted to practice on my English for holidays, and our international trips and everything. And this also helped a lot to speak more in English, recording stuff in English, and yeah, just giving it a kind of normal vibe, that it's a daily thing, kind of. Artie, where are you from? Mm, I am looking for a sign. Is it? Do we actually have like a staff room sign, or do we only have toilets? And where is the info sign? I could be here. Nope. Random stuff. Toilets. Shop decoration. Photo point. Okay, this is for the mechanic. So there should be... What's this? Body dryer. Okay. Staff building. That's exactly what I was looking for. Let's just... Oh, nice. That's far away, but I've never been to Brazil, but it's on my list. Yeah, that's the best surprise when you think it's Sunday, but it's only Saturday. I had this feeling as well because yesterday on Friday was a bank holiday here in Germany, and I had a day off yesterday already. So I was really confused this morning because I just thought, okay, it's Sunday already and I need to go back to work tomorrow. But then I just realized that I have another free day, another full day of building nice things in Planet Coaster. Should we go? Maybe. I mean, we could even. Let's try. I like my windows, my Austrian inspired windows, but can we actually just get them, make them from here? Let's see if this somehow works out. I actually still... Perfect. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. And then I think we should just split this from building. 5 p.m. So this is 5 hours behind. So now let's align this one here. I think this turns out really, really well. Cupex, I hope I pronounce your name correctly, your username. Where are you from? So let's go. Do we... I was actually wondering if I should do these live streams a lot more regularly because I am, yeah, it's been some months, as I already mentioned yesterday, but I'm thinking of if this would be great to do it a little more often. Ah, nice, from Germany. Are you, where are you in Germany? Which, I don't know the the name for Bundesland here. That's too far. I was at IKEA today, and I somehow got the feeling I need to prepare for Christmas. I know it's Halloween month and we are actually preparing for the spooky season, but I really had the feeling that I need some Christmas decorations before it's too late and everything is sold out. So I went to IKEA this morning and I bought way too much Christmas decoration. Good old Bavaria. People are just jealous if they are making jokes about Bavaria. I'm originally from Austria. I moved to Germany in 2016. So I know the feeling of being joked about because that's usually what happens with Austrian people as well. Should we... Um, this is way too long. This is not the... I actually also cannot wait to watch Christmas movies. I know it's still too early, but I'm just in love with this time of the year. Especially because I have so much time to play video games. Maybe that's not the healthiest part of it, but I really enjoy the cozy time, being a lot less stressed, focusing on the beautiful things of life. So we now move this whole thing down here. Perfect. More bank holidays is always better. Yeah. I'm quite happy how this all turned out. I haven't thought that it would be actually go that quick, but I think this blends in very, very well. I think we now only need to add some big picnic benches here, and then I would say we are mostly done. Cupix, what do you mean? I think it was a step in between, and as I'm having a little time difference, but I can take a look at it in just a second. Let's go. Sometimes I just want, should we go for the round ones? Oh, that's a very good question. I actually, for my Brimwood Resort park build, I'm using lots of inspirational pictures I collected all together because I focused a lot on different countries and architecture styles from these countries. So I really needed something. But like for Pinnacle Park, this was just about, yeah, trying things, trying to build things with the pieces we got. And I actually didn't really have, I had several, yeah, real life things in my mind. So basically, when I was building this coaster, when the Thrill Riders pack came out, I had the Right to Happiness in my mind. I didn't want to do like a recreation or something, but I just had some of the elements and the overall layout in my head. But it wasn't really that I looked at the pictures. And the Seven Dwarfs in Universal, and not in Universal, in Disney World, was kind of the inspiration for this mine train. But I didn't just have an idea of what basically the coaster is somehow, yeah, working like close to the terrain and everything, and then I'm trying to do something, yeah, into this direction. One thing I'm really sad about, I know this is actually, I think it's not intended that this little train ride is a transport ride, but I was really sad that we could only add one station to this, because my main idea was that this train goes just around the big mountain in the center of the park. And then the idea was that this is the opportunity to get onto the other side of the mountain. And I always had the plan. And as you can see, I still left space here that if one day it just works out, because it's this little family train. And I just thought this would work so well, that here could be the second station. I also duplicated the building already, but it's sadly not yet possible to have multiple stations on this one. I really hope this might be activated in a future update or so. Do you usually have some inspirational images, or do you research a lot, or how do you um, create your things? I also think, sorry to say, but I also think that this gift shop, we need to finish this whole thing here. I'm just not sure how to put it all together that it looks kind of nice. What if, I think this could also use some light indoors. Maybe we will take care of this as well in a few moments. I think the gift shops has been really, really a great addition to the game. So now let's go with... I'm really not sure. What should we do with this building? Who is I also think these brick pieces doesn't really match the style. Can we just... Why can't I remove them? Ah, these are separate. Maybe we should just go for like the wooden beams. Let's go with these. Or, better idea, let's go with these ones. Those are a little bigger. What do you guys think could be the DLC strategy for Planet Coaster 2? Do you think we will have something like with Planet Zoo, like an animal pack focused on animals, and then again a scenery pack, and then switching between these two types of DLC? Or what do you think could be the future concept? I think this looks already a lot better, but then we need to... How did I with the restaurant build? I just have to quickly check because I used those pillars here. Yeah, maybe we should go for these. Yeah. I think that's the way to do it. Sorry for jumping around that crazy. I also wonder if we will get like water park things in a DLC, because I think especially when it comes to flumes, there is not that much to add. Ah, Archie is already talking about water park themed DLC. I think it would be really great to see like jacuzzis or whirlpools or something like this. But I also would love to see like waterfall pieces. I'm thinking of the enrichment pieces we got. Like the capybaras have been bathing around below some water features that you could place. I think this would be also, from a technical perspective, work out very well to have like enrichment pieces that you could place inside of pools and that your guests will interact with. The jungle pack, I already thought about this a lot because the adventure pack was mostly focused on all this adventure thing, like with yeah, the scientists, not scientists, how are they called? The people that are um looking for things somewhere. I have no, like on an expedition. Um I I just thought if this could match with a jungle, prehistoric kind of vibe, like also adding dinosaurs or something like this. And I wondered if they could maybe use the animals from Planet Zoo, the models of them, to create animatronics with it. This would be also great. I think we like to at least have like 8 to 10 different animals, like a zebra, lion, and the most famous ones, basically. So I think this already looks a ton better, but I'm I'm still not 100% happy. I think we still need some wooden roof. Let's go with this one. But I think a prehistoric pack or something with dinosaurs is really like most wanted. And it would have, yeah, it would be a really great addition. So now we are just doing like this. What are your, sorry for so many questions, but I just enjoy talking about, speculating about the game. Do you actually think that snow will ever be a thing in Planet Coaster 2? Or do you think that it's not too realistic that they are working on weather improvements? Because I actually think that weather is something a lot of people complain about, and I think Frontier is really wanting to do it right. So, as they are aware of all the feedback, I kind of imagine that they should or are currently working on improving the weather system. This park is so crowded. I really, really love to see the guest flow, to see this full paths. And I think in update 3 or 4, they have refined the overall guest flow. I really, really love to see. how this is turning out. I'm just quickly, let me quickly save everything here. I got a feeling that something is different with my graphics settings, because everything is so laggy. Hmm. Maybe it's just the park because it's already really, really big. And then we could continue. Maybe we should just like use this whole thing, put it into scenery group. For me personally, that's one thing I want even more. I think adding snow is just a thing that you cannot do it all the time. Like I was thinking if they would add it, it the only chance would be with the winter update this year for Christmas in December or next year, because I think Frontier wouldn't add snow in like March or June next year. So if they're going to add it, then I think it will be for this winter update. And as weather was always a point, like all the creators have given feedback about this and also the community. So I really think they are aware of the wishes, because for me personally, the seasons, especially we are now here in a taiga biome, and if I take a look at the overall weather, yeah, it's now over. Can we just, whoops. Now you can see, basically, even with winter, it's sunny and it doesn't really matter. So why would you add like seasons and everything? I just think it wasn't how Frontier wanted it to be from a quality perspective, and they left it out from the original launch version. But I think the whole system was actually based on having proper seasons in some way in the game. And they could have simply copied it from Planet Zoo because it was a lot better than what we have at the moment in the game. So now let's go. Yeah, I think it could make sense to copy over one of these windows. Yeah, I think this already turns out quite well. Let's go with this side as well. Hi Tony, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. I saw that you've been playing a lot Planet Coaster the last days. My Steam always informed me, notified me that you've been online and playing. I'm not a stalker. Yeah, it already looks a lot better. Maybe if we now add a type of sign here, then I'm fine with it. Oh, that's a good question. Actually, from what I've seen so far from Jurassic World Evolution, I thought a lot about flying to London to visit the Jurassic World Evolution free preview event because you could register beforehand, but I then didn't have the time to do so. But I played a lot of Jurassic World Evolution 2 lately, and especially with the building mechanism and everything, I wasn't too hyped. But from what I've seen now for Jurassic World Evolution 3, I think, especially when creativity is getting a little low, it is really helpful to get into another game. And yeah, I think I will definitely spend lots of hours in there. Maybe not as much as in Planet Coaster 2, but still a lot. And I also thought about covering it a little more on my channel. Yeah, the sorcery pack is really, really good. I also really enjoy all the building pieces and the new coaster editions, of course. The only thing I miss is a boomerang version of the kiddie coaster, but I'm sure it's coming one day. What was my plan? To add some signs. I think this could already work out quite well. Let's go with this one. As I already mentioned yesterday, I'm really bad in giving things names. So I'm only, calling this a gift shop. No, this isn't really working. Yeah, let's go for this one. And then maybe not 100% white. Perfect. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Not the best building ever I ever did, but it's okay. Whoops. So I think the only thing left now is actually, now let's take these logs from here, copy them over. Mrs. T-Rex, did you initially start with Jurassic World, your YouTube channel, or have you always been? Because I mostly know your Planet Coaster stuff, but maybe that was just because of my lack of interest for Jurassic World Evolution before I became a creator. So I'm not really sure how you started at all. I should have definitely done my homework better and also stalked you and your YouTube career. So now let's go. Can we do this? Okay, whoopsie. Can we do this in a more... Yeah, this is maybe... Some guests are really going crazy. I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but it sounds like they're really having some great fun. Maybe... Oh, 2 Point Museum. That's also very nice. Cool that you started with Planet Zoo. I remember when I tried to become a creator during COVID in 2020, and I uploaded, I think, 2 Planet Coaster videos and 3 Planet Zoo videos. But as I wasn't doing like voiceovers or anything, I didn't have any professional equipment or anything. It really turned out well. And then the pandemic was about to, yeah, getting a little slower, and I got back to work. I didn't have the time to continue this. So I just stopped with everything. But yeah, does it work out for you and your channel with having different games on the channel? My most favorite feature. That's a very good question. I really have to think about this. Just give me a second. Most wanted feature. Basically, maybe it's not a feature at all. I would say from a visual perspective, it would really be the dynamic weather, including snow, because it adds so much more realism and also having different things, having to work with the guest flow a lot more based on the weather. I think it doesn't matter too much for the sandbox builds I do, but for a career mode or like a challenge mode, it would really have an impact. But if I think, but it's really hard to tell. I always wanted special track pieces. I think that's already very nice that we have them in the game now. No, I would definitely say it's snow. Snow improved the weather and everything that comes around it. This would be my number one at the moment. What's your number one? I would love to hear actually the number one things from everyone here. Mm, I think hotels would also be very nice. I think they should be quite modular. I did a video with speculation about how they could add hotels to the game. And I think they would need to, especially, I thought about maybe, I don't know if you played Planet Zoo or something, but when I thought about hotels, I had the vision of rooms that are placeable and you can adjust the interior with toggles like you can do with exhibits in Planet Zoo, because you have like 3 options per category. So basically you could customize 9 total different items of rooms to make it more premium or something like this. So I would say this would be something. But as I'm reading that Adrian is talking about stations, I completely forgot about stations. I think the stations really need an overhaul. I'm not, as most of the people out there are complaining about the size. I think the size doesn't matter at all too much for me personally, but I would really love to see, and I had really high hopes because the FD Vision, which is actually the, I'm not sure if when I'm dropping just names like basically the FD Vision, this was always advertised with a conveyor belt station. And I think 2 weeks before the release of the game, this note about the conveyor belt got removed. So I think Frontier was working on a different variant of stations with, and I think at the latest, if they maybe add a striker coaster like Voltron, then we need moving platforms. And I also hope for special stations like for River Rapids, around kind of station, or like a dual loading station. We already have the separate station, which has been already a great addition. But I would also love to see, like for wing coasters, as we now have the opportunity to add multiple gates to a station, that we could simply give the guests the option to enter both sides for a wing coaster to build it even more realistic. Yeah, I think that's it. So we are now, I would say, done here. Now let's take a look where I think the other gap was in the entrance area. This is actually a staff building. I actually, talking about triggers and timelines, I never used this whole thing. I built very quick and very easy a firework for New Year's Eve last year. And I put together this thing. I think this was already so much work. And I think it really looks great how it all turned out in the end. But after this one, I never built anything again with the sequencer. I actually have absolutely no clue where I have hidden the event sequencer. Can I actually see it somewhere? I thought I have added it here, but I haven't. Or did I hide it here? It got lost. Nope. I have absolutely no clue. I think we will never find it again. And one thing I also realized, this coaster is getting stuck always. I have no clue what's the problem with it. But sometimes people just get stuck here. People are not moving out. Then I have to fully close everything. Go into test mode. Okay, this doesn't even work. Now they are standing here. And now let's reopen. That happens now and then. So are you now coming in? Please walk in and enjoy the ride. Perfect. Now it works again. Swoosh. Ah, yeah, here's the third. I always wonder if it maybe has something to do with the third coaster train, but I'm not really sure about. Or did I forget to activate the block section of it? It's now here in the drop track. Yes. Yeah, so personally for me, I would say hotels, weather, stations, and then I'm done. I think parades and everything could also work like walking tours and Planet Zoo. I think there would definitely be options, but it's nothing that I would focus too much on. When it comes to seasonal decorations, especially if you move through a year and we would maybe have really, if the weather is improved and we would have proper seasons, then I also thought about there is a mechanic in Sims 4 that you can add decorations to your house and it changes from season to season. So based on what season you are playing at the moment, the decoration of your house is changing. So I thought about if there would be a possibility for maybe adding, like we had this time sequence, day and night cycle sequencer in Planet Coaster 1 to adjust because we didn't have dark indoors. That was, I think, the solution Frontier provided. I just thought if it would be possible to add like a season sequencer to your buildings and have like the 4 seasons, and then you can attach additional scenery to your buildings and connecting it to different periods throughout or to a specific season. And then, for example, all the season-based decoration on a building will change if based on the in-game time you are actually in. I think this would be a really nice addition. It's for really heavily theming players, but I think this could be an option to have real seasonal things and that you don't need to change it throughout the whole year. So basically, you could just place down things like pumpkins and everything throughout the whole park and connect it to a season. Then it would just change in the whole park. This would be really, really great. Oh yeah, midway games. I usually never play midway games, but I think they belong to theme parks and I would really love to see them. So now back to this area because that's actually what I wanted to do. I think we are going. I actually wanted to hide this whole thing. Oh yeah, the plushies. I think we had in the first game with the vintage pack, I think we also had these slot not slot machines, how were they called? The one-armed thingy to get plushies out of it. I really hope to see them back just with further editions. But we are base basically, if you think of Planet Zoo, and we are now like having over 20 DLCs for Planet Zoo, I think we are so early in the game because actually we got one real DLC for Planet Coaster 2. I think there is so much more to come. And especially the last free update was, in my opinion, a smaller update. Not, please don't get me wrong, but I think the challenge mode was a very complex one to be added. I think if they focus on like real in-game features that changes the gameplay, then I think we might see more of them in the future because next to the scenario editor and maybe a diorama mode or something, I don't see actually anything big coming up. Only I was thinking about if they change the weather, I would also love to see custom biomes. And yeah, so how could we now? I think we need, let's go into this building. Then I want to, it's like a panel. I want those wooden panels, not the windows. Blue wooden panels. Where are you? Here. Yeah, I think there's a lot to come. Um, no worries. You're not distracting me at all. I just realized that my brain is really, really slow and I cannot focus too much on talking and building. But that's not bad at all because live streams are here for chatting about the game as well. Um, so everything is fine. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I am looking for this one. And it's also great to see so many people in the stream yesterday and today as well. So I'm happy about everyone that's here. Feel free to ask, talk. Hi, Leroy. I'm good, thanks. How are you? So basically, if we are going to do this, I'm not 100% sure if that's how I want it to be, but let's see how this all turns out. Oops. Tony, what are you working on in the game at the moment with the sorcery pack? I would really love to hear and see. Yeah, we already talked about a jungle-inspired thingy. I definitely see monkeys there as well. I think 4 DLCs per year is just too less. I fully understand that people, developers, and everyone at Frontier also needs some sleep, but I want more content. Okay, what the hell is going on? So now we've hidden this whole thing, but I still think, where is this cancel thing coming from? This is quite annoying. We talked about the spooky pack yesterday in yesterday's stream, and I got a feeling that we might get like a small version of a spooky pack, like a free update at the end of October with another update, maybe. Wouldn't this be great? I'm super happy with the sorcery pack, and I'm happy that they didn't just release another spooky pack, but I think people are begging so much for a spooky thing. And that's as well as with the snow, it's something seasonal. You cannot add something spooky related in March. I mean, you can, but it doesn't make sense too much. Basically, I think we will just add some trees in here. Should we? Oops. European large. Because as they did Pirate and Fairy Tale, and I think Fairy Tale was one of the biggest themes, I think Frontier has found a way to port over pieces from the first game quite easily. I don't want to judge or talk about the amount of work that is needed because I think there is still some adjustments needed to be done for scalability and everything. But I think there is a way to not just create all the pieces over and over from scratch for the second game. I think they can definitely use the basic models from the first game and only adjust it to make it work. Leroy, this would be absolutely amazing. We talked about it earlier that snow is my most wanted feature at the moment. So, yeah, maybe that's just the right way to do this here. I wasn't really sure, but now with all the trees, I also need a lot more foliage. We have so many foliage options in Planet Zoo. Please, Frontier, give us more trees, bushes, and flowers. And I don't mind if you just copy them over from Planet Zoo. I'm fully fine with this. I think restaurants were also a big surprise, in my opinion, because we had only these black boxes in the first game. And I actually expected something like in Planet Zoo with the restaurants, but that they actually did make it work, that people are ordering food and walking with their tablets, is it? Plates to a table and sit down. That was a really, really nice surprise when they just released the first preview. Maybe, yeah, we should have a large tree in here. I think this already looks a lot better. Yes, that's true. I also know that some people I know try to scale, like they try to mod things in game and they try to make grid pieces scalable, and it definitely worked. The game didn't crash and it worked quite well. So, as we now got the free access rotation for grid pieces, I really hope we might see also some scalability in the future. This would be really, really amazing. Yeah, I think the animations that are not having the ability. So, for example, Sorcerer. Basically, if we take a look at the spider, let's place it here. This one doesn't have any options for animation, and it can be scaled if I'm not completely wrong. Yes, it can be scaled, but I realized that all the pieces that are animated and don't have any options in the piece menu, those are scalable. But as with the spellcaster, for example, they are not scalable because they have like activation and animation types. So I think it has to do that those two things are handled differently. I think this animation is more like handled like the animation of trees as well, because it's simply a loop, because you cannot pause the whole thing. I would also love to see like a paused version of the spider to use it. But honestly, spiders are disgusting. I don't like them at all. I think that's actually the difference, but I have no clue if it's really like this. And what else would be great if there would be a possibility to split off water and theme park, because at the moment you need to buy your pool pass in a shop, but it would be great if you could decide if the entrance is only for the pool area or only for the water park area. I never tried it. Maybe some of you have, but I think you cannot divide it actually. So should we? Not really sure. I think let's keep it simple. We just need to move this one a little. Oops. Thanks, Mrs. T-Rex. Thanks for joining. Have a good night. And I'm sure we will talk soon. Thanks for joining. Is it already stuck again? No, it isn't. Okay, perfect. So now let's take a look at what else we can adjust. I think it looks quite well here. I was really, really proud of this bridge. I built this whole bridge to this castle for my family RMC coaster before the invisible paths were there. And I was really happy how it all turned out, because people are walking through here. That's the exit. And you can just walk into the coaster on this side. and then you are going through the queue, through this side building, and then up till here, crossing over that bridge into the station. I just think the coaster is, in my opinion, really great, but there are not so many people coming here. It would be also great if you could just make use of the transport rides a little more. And what I really, really want to see, why the hell isn't it already in the game? We have to talk about this. Let's just find a free space where we can hear my custom supports graveyard. We have this tracked ride, which is actually a Mack Rides powered thing. Why don't we have a powered coaster? Because this is actually everything we need. The only difference is the train, the look of the train. They just need to remove the roofs and add the possibility to have different speeds for the different track pieces. Then we are already ready for a powered coaster. I really hope to see a powered coaster in one of the next DLC. Sorry for my rage mode, but the power coaster is one of my most wanted family rides I want to have in my park. And back here, I think this was built when Taggy just released how we could do invisible paths, because I wanted to have this kind of hiking trail around this log flume. Yes, Leroy, I want snow in Pinnacle Park. We need weather adjustments and snow. Frontier, please. Now there's coming a log flume down here. Whoosh. And I would also, when it comes to features, I would also love, I don't know if any of you have seen the trailers for Jurassic World Evolution 3, but the waterfall terrain tool that actually makes real waterfalls between two water areas is absolutely amazing. I really, really want this feature in Planet Coaster 2. And I hope, as Frontier did it with another game that is based on basically the same Cobra engine, please, please add it. Yeah, I think, here's a nice thing. I think we need some barriers in here because people could just jump down into this water. And this was for the first time when I worked with triggered elements here. I kind of remember I wanted to have some water features, actually. I think Jurassic World Evolution 3 is Cobra. Let me quickly check. From what I can find online, they are using Cobra Engine for part 3. Yes, I think it is possible. I think they will definitely. I'm 100% sure that Planet Zoo 2 is coming next year because we are just seeing a new creative simulation game next year. And I think the first Planet Zoo game has, yeah, ended with the last DLC. But I think we will see the second game next year. And I really, really hope that we get some of the features that work well in other games that they are added to Planet Coaster 2 and vice versa. Can we just, I think, yeah, this is a scenery group. Perfect. Then we can just build right to this. I think we will just go for. I was wondering, I think 2 weeks ago in the mid of September, Frontier released their new financial report. I always love to jump into these reports and try to find out what the future will bring. And they actually mentioned that we are going to see a creative management simulation game in 2026, which, in my opinion, is Planet Zoo 2, as I already said. And then we are also going to see another creative simulation game in 2027. So I'm really wondering, after Planet Coaster 2 is out, Jurassic World Evolution 3 is out, Planet Zoo 2 coming, in my opinion, next year, what could be this fourth creative simulation game? I'm I have absolutely no clue. Could it be a city builder to compete with City Skylines or SimCity kind of game? I'm really, really not sure what to expect. I mean, Planet Water Park doesn't make no sense. Planet Hotel or Planet Resort. It wouldn't work without theme parks or zoos. What could it be? I'm so curious. Yeah, maybe that's the reason. Hopefully not. Okay, we definitely need to place some more rocks here. At the moment, I cannot think of any game that could be the game that we are seeing in 2027. Maybe everything is a lot clearer because it's not Planet Zoo for 2026 and then it's Planet Zoo 2 for 2027. Yes, they saved so many names from Planet Safari to, I don't know. It's really hard to tell. But I think that's actually the strategy to hide what they are actually working on. but I will always remember the day the countdown for Planet Coaster 2 went live on Twitch. It was amazing. I will never forget this day. I was so hyped with all the speculation. Okay, perfect. So people are at least safe now up here, and they cannot fall down into death. And I also hope that we get some more shops. I always, when I think of the anniversary update, I am 100% sure that we are getting an anniversary update in November. But when I think of an announcement trailer or something for this update, I just see how we are entering a park with a castle at the horizon, and we see fireworks and everything, and from all sides, left, right, back, and everything, the entertainers are coming all together, like Miss Ellie and the princess from Planet Coaster 1, the pirate one, so that we are getting all the old entertainers in Planet Coaster 2 because the Planet Coaster family is coming together. Yes, I know. I'm already speculating a lot, but I have this trailer in mind. If I would be able to do it, I would cut everything together and make this trailer for Frontier because that's what I want to see. And yes, Adrian, it's important to keep an eye on to the safety of our guests. The roadmap days were really, really great. I think we should turn the curbs off here. That's true. It looks horrible. Let's turn them off. Yeah, much better. Oops. Yeah, I think that's because of the new coffee. Yeah, we cannot remove this because I made these paths with the Taggy 3D technique, and now the game is hating me for this. I think so too. Sorry. But I'm really hoping that at least the matching ones to the themes. Oh, okay. This is definitely a deathly edge where people are jumping down because they don't want to stay any second longer in my horrible theme park. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I would Can you please, just that I feel a little better, can you let me know how many in-game hours you all actually have? Tony, I'm sure you're having more in-game hours than I have. So, where are all my guests? Please come up. I think the vegan food up here isn't that interesting for our guests. They want meat. Or maybe the shop is just not themed enough. But we can take care of this. 1,700 hours already. Okay, this is insane. I actually only have like 250 and I thought that's a lot, but now I feel much better. Thanks for this, of course. 1,700 hours is really it's insane. Sorry. I think you have enough time to enjoy your life. That's really great. I'm happy for you. I wish I would have the time to play so much in the game, but I think I'm often just too lazy because I would actually have more time to do so, but then I mostly decide to just watch some reality TV and just be lazy. Yeah, absolutely. Pathing and scaling is a game changer. That's also a reason why I don't go back to Planet Zoo at the moment, because I think I would miss scaling just too much. I am looking for wooden pieces. I always forget what I've been looking for. Mm, let's see. Mm, why the hell can't I find now the pieces I want to find? This is not the one I want. I'm looking for wooden pieces, but yeah, let's go with these ones, maybe. We should definitely scale everything down. I mean, that's fine. What is your, if I'm allowed to ask, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, what is your daily job that you're doing when you're not playing Planet Coaster 2? Let's go for 66. Yeah, perfect. It's just right. Let's go up to 11 again. One thing I was also very, very surprised are the on-ride photos. I would have never thought that we would get them because they were so highly requested, but I really thought that's something Frontier isn't able to do properly. Oh, 5 stars for everything. The perfect $300,000 is also not bad. Yeah, we had a rough launch, but I think also people complained a little too much. I think it's very important to give constructive feedback and be vocal about things that aren't working. But as lots of people called it unplayable and whatsoever, I never had the feeling that the game was in such a bad state. It wasn't in the state that it should have been for launch, but I think Frontier definitely have understood this and delivered with all the free updates. I have never seen such an effort to adjust things so fast with taking all the feedback into account. And people who are now still complaining, I think they will always complain. And what's also said, I think they also forget about that there are real human beings behind this project and that these people are working there. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on a live stream, but they are working their ass off. And it must be really hard sometimes to read so many hate online, even though I think there's actually no reason at all for it. But that's just my opinion. Okay, we need to cover up the sides somehow, but I think maybe we could just go with this piece. Oh, they got a vegan wrap. Nice. They made the whole way up here onto this hill just to get a vegan snack. That's what I want to see. Guests, come up here and enjoy your meal. Definitely. The paths in Planet Coaster 1, they were unplayable. Oh, nice. I think it already had an impact that I decorated those little shops. I think they just need some shade, like sun shade. I think there will always be people that will they will never be happy. It doesn't matter what Frontier is doing, they will never be happy. But I think that has nothing to do with the game or with what Frontier is doing at all. So please, Frontier, just keep going. I actually, when I did that was just a little fun fact because I was really, really happy about it. That was one of my highlights over the last couple of weeks when I released my video about the sorcery pack when the pack was just announced. I, as always, had early access from Frontier and was able to record something up front. And then I talked about the Intamin coaster coming to Planet Coaster 2. My personal highlight was that Intamin actually commented under my video. I was really surprised, and I was also really, really happy that they saw my video talking about the Intamin coaster coming to the game. I'm always happy if people leave surprising comments. So you need some shade, as I already said. Let's get this one maybe just here. Then it's a lot easier for you to work. And yeah, I think the color also matches quite well. And then let's also do this for you. But as the sun is at the moment having a different angle, let's see how we will do this. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. And suddenly people are coming up here. I cannot believe it that it's working. Maybe we should just add some more planters here to have a little more decoration. Let's go for... Maybe we could simply go with these. I hope so too. I hope so too. And I also have to... one thing I really was happy about, or I'm really thankful for, is that Frontier, or the team of Planet Coaster 2, is currently really supporting my channel a lot. They are nearly reposting every video I release and liking all the content, sharing it on the official Planet Coaster channels, and I'm really thankful for the support and the opportunity they give me, actually. Sorry, I did completely go wild with the camera mode. So, and now, yeah, they are floating. That's what I thought. But we can fix this quickly. And I'm still quite new to this whole... I think 1 year being a creator is not that long compared to other ones. And I'm really thankful for how the whole community is yeah, watching my stuff and giving me feedback and everything. And also other creators are really, really kind, supporting each other. That's also very, very nice to see. So basically not go too wild with these rocks. I think we need... Can we just... No, it's fine. So basically we only need some bushes here and there. And then I think... Yeah, perfect. That's what I wanted to see. Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. And I'm impatient for those surprises. Especially for Christmas. I think they want to boost sales, and to boost sales, the best thing is to release amazing new stuff. So I think this will turn out quite well. Yeah, this area is still simple, but I think it looks kind of nice. What is going on here? Oh, nothing. That was just a glitch. So basically, we are... I think the park is quite big already. If we take a look from the top. Tony, what do you mean with MP? True MP? Sorry, I'm a noob for shortcuts. Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Sorry. I think Parkitect was the first game that, yeah, like with theme parks that added a multiplayer thingy. I think that it has to really be very stable in terms of connection. I think it's definitely possible, but I'm not sure if the focus is on this actually. Maybe I'm just stupid, but I never thought of playing multiplayer in Planet Coaster 2. But sometimes I think it would be nice to just, yeah, chat and talk with people like I do now on live streams while building stuff, instead of sitting in a dark, empty room talking to myself about what I'm going to build. But I think it's not actually on Frontier's roadmap somehow, but that's just a feeling. I always thought because this is actually the ending, yeah, let's call it scene. It's not really a scene because nothing special is happening in here, but it's the final lift hill into the station. And I just thought if I should put a roof on it, but then I actually thought the last days, what if we just cover it with some wooden pieces? Like going really, I think the style I would like to have. Let's go for, whoops. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Hilarious. So basically, what if we go for this one? Maybe we could even, yeah, let's make it go outside as well. And then up here. So basically, let's go with, yeah, that's true. I think it definitely makes sense. I'm not sure if Frontier is aware of this, but maybe we should be talking more about this one as well in the future. I will put it into my feedback. I regularly give feedback to Frontier, especially when we are having access to new packs or so. Then I put together a list of feedback, what I'm thinking about, because I think it's always helpful to share your thoughts. I will definitely put this on my list as well. So what if, and now go here. Will this be a problem with the head of the people? Is it too low? No, I don't think so. But it's too short. We need to go even further to the left. And now I thought, what if we go? We have those. Where have they been? Wood, jetty. Jetty. No, that's not ship. Yeah, these ones. That's exactly what I wanted. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought about. I wanted to have like a roof, but not having a roof because everything is broken. The world is bad. We need disaster and chaos. And then I want to maybe... Hi, Fog. Nice that you've joined. Um, I just subscribed to your channel, I think, a few days ago because I saw some screenshots of your recent build, and I definitely wanted to see more of that. So I'm happy that you're here. It's an honor. It's now getting really technically, but I kind of like this. How did actually, I think they did a multiplayer in Parkitect. Does anybody know how they implemented it basically? Yeah, I'm kind of happy with this kind of vibe because I never wanted to have a closed roof. Yeah, someone shared it and I was really, really impressed. So I definitely had to take a look at it. I In a few moments, I want to jump over into my Brimroad Park build again because I actually need some feedback on something. And as we are now having, yeah, some really good builders here, I would, and Tony with over 1,700 in-game hours, I would really love to hear feedback because I started on building a station today for my roller coaster, and I actually, yeah, I'm still struggling with some of the details. So I would be happy if you could take a look at it with me. Just let me quickly save and load. Oh, my nature work, it's, yeah, I have absolutely no clue what I'm doing, to be honest. I always try to move them. I always remember a tip I heard in, I think, Rudy, one of Rudy's video, to just put down trees into the, yeah, ground and sink it down, that it looks like actual bushes or something like this. And I always try to match different things up. So basically, we are in my new park build, and I built this. Please don't take care, those are just placeholder because I'm planning out where everything is. The overall look of it will go into this direction. And it's basically French gardens, and you are entering this whole queue line up to this big looping coaster that is going down here. And then I thought I also want, as this will be the whole garden area with lots of foliage, I just thought that my main idea was to have like a night scene, like Paris at night with yeah, some action indoors. So that's basically the main structure of the coaster hall, so to say, around it. And I thought that I will, yeah, just build like some tables here. It should like a small Paris restaurant, cafe, something where people would sit at night. And I created this. I wanted to have something like how is it called? Like a house where you grow plants in. I don't know how to describe it. I used lots of yeah, exactly. I wanted to use the Starfield panels for the roofs or the ceilings, better to say. And then I thought the exit, basically, it's Paris at night here, but then you just come into, and this building is absolutely not finished, but you will then enter into like a old manor that is kind of a museum, but it's actually the gift shop. A greenhouse, exactly. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you. um, but I'm not really sure what to include as a dark ride scene in here, because the main idea was to have some flowers here where actually the coaster is going through and is getting launched here, and that people could get a glimpse of the launch section here, and not to block it off with walls like wine graves or something. Grapes, not graves, sorry. It's already very late. Yeah, but I'm not really sure. I'm open for thoughts and ideas, but that's basically my overall. And of course, the whole coaster surrounding hall will just be covered in facades and not actual buildings. That's why I placed some placeholders, because the overall path will then go down here and end up this section. Yeah, I thought I thought it would be great if they come back here with the queue line and then go downwards here. So I definitely thought that I would at least in this turn, like having a window to get a glimpse of the coaster passing by, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's how I will do it, because actually I have no clue where the queue line is actually starting from. I only made my thoughts about. I think the queue will go down here below the whole coaster station, and then somewhere, yeah, maybe even here. Maybe we are coming down this way, outside here, and then interacting, because we could maybe, yeah, I think this could work. Oh yeah, that sounds really good. Actually, I wanted a water feature, so this would be really, really great. And then maybe having the queue line going in a circle through here with lots of, yeah, bushes actually. Hi, Leaf. Um, and then actually having the entrance at this point, basically. Yeah, that's the overall concept. I'm just not sure. So basically the second floor here is just for decoration. So I will put a ceiling in here. I just wanted to have it open to keep building. And then the other thing I started with this wall, but then I had the idea that actually this whole station should be one large greenhouse. Oh, that's also really nice with the Eiffel Tower. I definitely have to write these ideas down. Thanks so much for the feedback. Because I think this wall is just off. I think it should be a very open, glassy greenhouse where the coaster sits in. I actually built the base structure already here. Why is this coaster not testing? I think we had basically everything I need for this in Planet Zoo with all the glass walls and glass building pieces. But I will build it on my own. Here I already have like a water feature at the final part of the coaster. And I actually wanted to have a not so typical queue line to really interact with some hedges and everything to just continue this kind of style also here. And then I already showcased this. So basically this is the entrance of the whole resort. And for the first time ever, I also try to work on indoors. And that's exactly what I will do as well with the other gift shop in the other coaster. Kew Gardens, that's good to know. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so in love with the gift shop pieces and also with this indirect lighting. It's coming together really, really good, I think. Yes, I like the sorcery lights a lot. I really had some fun with the sorcery pack already back here when I started with this heavily themed LSM coaster. Yeah, the indoors, it makes so much more fun with the global illumination because it's more about making everything light up indoors as well and not having everything in such a grayish tone because light is coming through the walls. I think this park build, from what I've done so far, is so much better than my Pinnacle Park series that we've been in before. And I kind of kept the style because it didn't really work well to get more into the details. But with this whole new build, I really wanted to focus on the small details, adding more depth into everything, and also thinking more of levels. And I'm super happy with this entrance here into the large hall. And then you're going up, coming closer to our new coaster. Yeah, I think the guest statues are the best to get the right scale. I'm still sometimes struggling because I think I'm still building too big, but I think sometimes, especially with older buildings, this actually just needs to be extravagant and larger. Thank you so much. I'm so in love with the new coaster and the special tracks. It's so nice that we can build spikes and everything to have more possibilities with switch tracks and everything. It makes so much more fun to build like these real life coaster layouts. It's actually insane. The only thing I would really love to see, I was really happy about the addition of coaster supports on paths. It would just be great if people would not walk through them, as they would have a bounding box that people would move around. Yeah, I'm still in a very early state with this whole park, but at least I think already the lampposts, they took a while to get them right. They are made of various single pieces, small pieces. Does the barrier or do the barriers really work for this one? Because I had the feeling when I placed it here, that's maybe not the best, not the best example, but as the barriers have like a bigger area around it, I had the feeling that people got blocked off completely. But I didn't try it here. But it's a nice idea to test it with this as well. Yeah, so basically, that's what I'm currently working on. And I think mostly the buildings will turn out like this, like having separate indoors, double walls, and outdoors. That's something I saw with, I think, Shift C, because he usually does those incredible builds with, yeah, like two walls for indoors and outdoors. And then I just realized it makes so much sense because that's actually how it's in real life as well. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Thank you for that. We are coming, we are already after midnight, so I think we are soon coming to an end for today. Let's jump in to Pinnacle Park again for a few minutes before I will end for today. I'm super happy for all of you that have joined today. I wouldn't have thought that we would have so many people in here. It was really, really nice to chat with all of you. I would say the whole Paris inspired things, that was the first time that I downloaded some reference images and started to create like real life buildings. Um, and as you already said, I cannot wait to see how it ends up in the end. In the end, ends up in the end. Sorry, it's already very late. Um, I'm just curious if it's as good as I thought it would be. That's really, really great to hear. Thank you, Tony. I really appreciate all the support. I'm so thankful for this. Um, because I think, for me personally, the most thing I love with live streams is that I can interact with people, chat, and talk about the game. and yeah, exchange some thoughts. And this is, at least in my opinion, the biggest difference to playing on my own and only building stuff. So thank you all for being here and yeah, chatting with me about the game. Maybe we can then also think of what we could add here, because I think this whole plaza is still a little empty. But that's something for a future build. But overall, I remember when I started, I was on holiday and I got the early access from Frontier, I think 2 weeks before the game launched. And I just started with this whole entrance area and I was so excited to get my hands on the game. Yeah, it's always good to talk. I think this little thing back here, I think it's the tower where the elevator for the log flume is hidden. Yeah, this definitely needs a little more love because it has actually no details. This was a quick thing. I actually have no clue. How does it look indoors? I built this whole building while watching Bachelor. Reality TV, my guilty pleasure. Yeah. I mean, it looks okay. It's not too heavily themed. But then here's the entrance to the elevator. I think this tower definitely deserves a little more love. Oops. Yeah, basically here in Pinnacle Park, I actually don't really have a not a main concept. It's mostly, it should be all around this mountain, which is actually the main, yeah, central point of view. But I thought a carousel or something would fit here, but I have no clue if people could enter this carousel if it's outside the main ticket gates. This would be very interesting because I also have the feeling that they are not using the shops here, but I'm not sure. Oh, they are using the shops. So maybe I think we could just try if it works to have like a carousel or so before the main entrance gate. What if we... Maybe it should just be a regular... I cannot see it. I think I'm blind. Let right. I'm looking for the Grand Carousel. Ah, here it is. Is it possible? I don't want to kill anyone. To have it just here? Let's see if someone is entering this thingy. Yeah, I think elevated would also make sense. I think we should do this maybe in the next live stream, but let's quickly test if people can actually access this, right? Then I think this would be the perfect edition. Is someone coming to ride this wonderful Grand Carousel ride? It looks like they are at least waiting in line. Yeah, I think it fits very well. If we elevate this one a little bit more and add some decorations, then it could look really great and fill up the space here a bit. I think the sideline then is also a lot better. For example, if we take a look from here. I think this fits very well with those two park signs and entrances. I'm fine with it. Oh, thanks, Thork, for letting me know. I will definitely take a look at it. That's a very helpful. I love the guest flow in Planet Coaster 2. It's so much more natural how people are walking through the whole area. It's really, really great to see. Perfect. Thanks for the code. Let me quickly write that down. 8XL E66 RH6. Thanks so much. Perfect. I would say that's it for today. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for the nice chat. I'm really thankful for all your support. Have a good night, depending on where you are from. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed what we did today. And I hope to see you in one of my upcoming streams again. I try to do this a little more regular in the future because it's really, really fun to spend time with all of you. Thanks, and yeah, see you in my next